We invest in a lot of technology companies here at Munro Partners. Companies like NVIDIA are really pushing the edge of technological innovation. And as they try to get more and more performance out of every chip, it means that these chips run a lot hotter. And so when we think about a data center, which is basically a big box with rows of server racks, there's a metric called power density or rack density, which is basically how much power each rack needs to operate. And so historically, a data center has had about, call it 10 kilowatts per rack is what it has needed to draw. And we think about the next iteration of NVIDIA's chips. The next iteration is going to need to draw 13 times what would be in a typical data center. And the one after that is going to need to draw 50 times, right? So there's a real inflection in power being consumed by these servers in order to get more performance. And so where does the heat go? At the moment, you need to get the heat out of the data center one way or another. Today, that's done with big fans, and that's called air cooling. So you basically run a bunch of fans and push the air out of the data center. That's okay for 10 kilowatts per rack, which is sort of the standard today. But once you get to, let's say, 130 kilowatts per rack and 500 kilowatts per rack, it's not sufficient. And so what you need to do is you need to go to a new solution. The new solution is called liquid cooling. So what liquid cooling is you think about the same data center, you think about the same rows of servers. You have a closed loop system. So think of just a circle around the data center. There's a fluid that gets pumped around. It's cold. It runs basically over the server. The server transfers the heat to the liquid. The liquid comes through the other side. The heat is passed out of the system through a heat exchanger. And then it comes past a chiller where the fluid gets cold again, and then it keeps going around. And so basically what we're saying is that although the technological innovation is right at the forefront, the industrial innovation has to be at the forefront as well. That's brought us to companies such as Vertiv, which is in all three of our funds at the moment, which is really pioneering these liquid cooling solutions and really basically enabling what companies like NVIDIA can do on the semiconductor side. Their industrial solutions actually enable that. We wouldn't be able to deploy these chips without their solutions.